Happy Halloween, Max. Happy
Yeah,
Halloween, Max.
Thank you. You too.
Do you go all out for Halloween?
If people are around, all my friends are in college right now in like different states, so none of them are home. So I don't really have much to do. But if everyone's home, yeah, we usually have like a party or something.
Was Halloween a thing growing up?
Oh yeah, all the time. I loved it. I would always dress up with my friends and go out trick or treating when I was little.
What's the most outrageous thing you've dressed up as?
Oh, I've done a bunch. I was Kenny from South Park one year. What else? I was a zombie multiple times a year in a row just because I was like a huge fan of like Left 4 Dead 2 and The Walking Dead. But no, Kenny is probably my favorite costume that I've done because I love South Park.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say, what are the top 3 horror movies for you?
Top 3? I love The Fly, the one with Jeff Goldblum, the one, and what else? Cloverfield's one of my favorites. I mean, it's not like a true horror movie, but it's like sci-fi horror, and I love sci-fi horrors like Cloverfield, Alien. Yeah, and then we all watched Cujo in the studio, and that one was great. It's so old school, but I love it.
Is there any newer horror movies that come to mind?
Newer ones? I don't know about newer ones. I've seen a couple, but like, I didn't really like them. Like I saw that. I mean, it was a couple years ago at this point, but I saw the movie like Babadook, but I don't know, didn't really do it for me.
Huh. Yeah, it's different strokes for different folks, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm definitely like a sci-fi horror guy, though. Those are always my favorite.
And what was your first concert? And obviously your dad is Mike Portnoy.
Yeah.
And obviously you've been in the rock and roll world for quite some time. Do you remember your first concert?
I actually don't. I'd imagine it was a Dream Theater show, though, because I grew up on the road and touring and seeing my dad's shows. And then I kind of, at like a young age, my dad would always be taking me out to see bands and stuff. So, I mean, the first show that really, like, hit me when I saw it for the first time was definitely Slipknot. I think I saw them back in 2008, I think. And that was, like, the first one where I was, like super into it and, like, mind blown or whatever. But, yeah, I've seen lots of stuff. I mean, I've seen Metallica before that. And, I don't know, my dad is always, like, he's a huge concert guy, so he'd always be bringing me out at a young age to see bands.
You probably haven't had the need to really buy music for the most part. Is that right?
I mean, when my dad has the biggest CD collection in the world, so yeah, technically I can go downstairs to his collection and find any band that I'd want, but I still buy albums because I like supporting the artists and the bands. So I have my own CD collection in my room. It's like not nearly as big as my dad's, but I like to buy them. And then I also buy them like digitally just to have on my phone too. So yeah, I mean, like I don't need to because my dad has everything in the world, but I still want to support the artists.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. I think we all do want to do that, support the artists. What's your most prized music collectible?
Music collectible. I actually have a bunch of drumsticks that I've gotten from shows in my room. Like I have a Chris Adler drumstick and then a Joey Jordison one. I have like all these different drumsticks from different drummers I've either gotten at shows or whatever. So I keep those right in my room. So I love all those.
And what is your most prized instrument? Obviously, do you play another instrument besides the drums?
Yeah, I play guitar and bass. I write the Tallah stuff like on guitar and bass too. I'm not like insanely good, but I can write the style of music that we play. So I have like a Schecter 7-string guitar, but my main drum kit, like the one I record in the studio with, I don't take it live because it's too pretty to. I don't know. I'm scared of it getting damaged or stolen. So that's like my prized possession. Like it's in the practice room and we rehearse on it, and then I record a Matriphagy in the studio with it.
What was your first car?
It's the car that I still currently have. It's a Dodge Avenger. It's awesome. I love Dodge cars.
What is it about Dodge that you like?
They feel like more spacious than some of the other cars I've been in, which I really like. And I don't know, just the look of them they're always like really cool and sporty.
And motorcycles. Do you have a motorcycle?
I've never ridden on a motorcycle before. The closest thing is just a bicycle, and I still don't even do that often. Forever.
Right.
Yeah.
And did you grow up with guns in the house?
No one in my house has guns, and I've never even tried a gun.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
It seems to be the part of many Americans growing up, the experience for many people growing up, and obviously for many, it's not a thing as well.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have, like, friends that, like to go out and, like, hunt, but that's, like, the extent of it. Like, I don't have any guns. I've never even shot any of theirs or anything.
How have you adjusted to the COVID world? How did it immediately impact you?
It was interesting. I mean, it sucks really bad, you know, but we've adapted, especially with the bands. You know, we've figured out ways to still get content out to, you know, our audience, to keep them entertained and keep them, you know, into, you know, the Maturifgy album cycle. So we've been able to adapt and work around it.
And how difficult is it to remain positive?
I mean, like, yeah, it really sucks not being able to get out there, but, like, in terms of, like, just keeping myself happy and entertained, like, I can just sit in my house and, you know, play drums, do music, or play video games with my friends online. So I've been able to keep myself entertained and, you know, happy, still talking to all my friends and stuff.
Cool. And I know your dad is a huge Beatles fan. Are you a fan as well, or is that just way too old school?
No, I like the Beatles. Like, I'm not a mega fan like him or my sister. Like, they know everything there is to know about Beatles. They know every single song in and out. But I grew up listening to them, and I still dig them. Like, if someone put on the Beatles, I'd enjoy it. But I typically, like, if I'm listening to something out of pleasure, I'll just put on, like, a metal album or something.
And talk a little bit about the new album and the vision you had going into it.
Yeah, so the vision going into it, I just want to combine all the different genres and styles of metal that I love and grew up listening to, all the way from, you know, new metal to deathcore, death metal, hardcore, any, you know, type of sound that we've loved, to try to blend it in there and do our own thing with it, keeping it chaotic and dark, you know. That's kind of the vibe that we were going for.
I think you've achieved that. Wouldn't you agree?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, we're super proud of the album, and it's pretty much, you know, hits exactly what we were trying to say with the album and the exact sound we were going for. So we're super proud of it.
Yeah, what kind of feedback have you received from it, positive and negative?
There's been a lot of positive comments. Like, everyone that was, you know, a fan of us when we dropped the EP, No One Should Read This, and I've been kind of waiting for a full length, they've all been raving about the album, which, you know, it's so great for us because we put so much work and effort into it. It's like, when it comes out and, you know, our audience loves it, that's the best thing in the world. And we're getting a ton of exposure from it too. Like, lots of new fans finding out about us and getting into the music. So it's been really cool.
And I believe you're doing well on radio as well.
Yeah, we've been getting some plays. Like, a couple of our songs are in, you know, heavy rotation, which is really cool. So that's something we hadn't had before, you know. When the EP came out, we got a little bit of it, but not as much as we're getting now, which is, you know, sick.
And would you say you sort of filled your cup in the prog world?
Moderately. There's still more I can do, and, like, I still love the prog world. I'd still, you know, play prog music if, you know, the time comes, or, you know, if I feel like it. But at the time, I was like, I want to do some extreme metal stuff and get out there and just be crazy. So, you know, I wasn't like, I'm done with prog. I was just like, I want to go do this other thing for now and pursue that, you know.
Did you, was there like an effort to make the new album with the new band zero prog?
No, I mean, the intention wasn't for it to be prog or be close to it, but, I mean, like, there's still hints of progressive elements mixed in, because, like I was saying, it's like, we do combine elements from all the different styles that, you know, we like. So there are, like, riffs that are in odd time signatures, like LEDs and, like, 7/8. I mean, that's not the craziest, but, like, the start of Kungan has, like, a whole bunch of different time signatures, and we try to, like, sneak stuff in. Not really intentionally, but it's just kind of, like, the way we are. Like, especially me, Justin, and Derek, we've all got, like, a prog background, so it just kind of happens to make its way into the music a little bit.
How often do you write something that sounds like somebody else, but you use it anyway?
It happens sometimes, yeah. It's the worst when you don't realize it right away. Like you write a song or a riff, and you're totally into it, and then you come back to it a couple of days later, and you're like, oh wait, that's already a song by this band. Like I can't use that riff; it's been done already. So we don't ever use it. If we pick up on something that's a riff that's pretty much been used by another band, like we don't want to put that out because it's not ours at that point. We don't want to just be a copy paste of someone else.
You wouldn't consider using like a quarter of it or a half of it?
If it's different enough from the start, like if someone hears it and is like, oh, that's similar to this song, then it's like, okay, we can change it a little bit more so it's not similar, it's just different. But if it's like exact, like, nah, I just start over, get a different thing going.
How long did the cover art concept take to settle on, and what other ideas were considered?
So when we were doing the artwork, we had shot ideas back of me and Justin about kind of just a little bit of like what the artistic look would be like. And we kind of had it settled already because we've done a couple music videos. We had the EP art, which we wanted to elaborate on. That was kind of the first thing. It was like the EP was half the album, so we should take the EP art and blow it up and make it a full-length sort of concept with the artwork. So I went to Justin's house, and we spent like 2 full days getting everything ready, and we took so many different shots and pictures and sat down and went through all like the hundreds of shots that we took. And we ended up with the cover that's on the album now, and it kind of gets everything we wanted in one picture and one shot, which we love. So we're totally stoked on it.
Was there any thought to delaying its release to a post-pandemic time in order to tour support it?
Yeah, when we first started, like we got out of the studio pretty much right before lockdown. Like we were done in February, and the lockdown pretty much started March. So the plan originally was for it to be out summertime, and then like right when pandemics like hit the U.S. and the lockdown started, we were like, okay, maybe we should push this back to like October and see what's going on. And then once we got a little bit closer to that date, we were like, yeah, the pandemic's not going to be done anytime soon. Let's rock with October release then. So we just settled at that point.
What are you most proud of on the new album and as a drummer?
I'm honestly just proud of everything as a whole, honestly. Like when we left the studio, there was nothing that I was unhappy about, and I don't think there was anything any of the guys were unhappy about either. Like we were all totally stoked on it. It was the exact vision we wanted. Like everything came together. Even the guy that mixed and engineered it, produced it, Josh Schroeder, he killed it and got exactly what we were envisioning on it. So like honestly, the album as a whole is just everything we could have asked for. Specifically about drumming, my drum sounds are also perfect. Like Josh, I explained kind of like the vibe and like the sounds that I was going for, which was like natural and then like a tight snare with some sustain on it. And he nailed it. He was like, yeah, let's do this. He was all about it, and he helped me achieve that goal like right away, which was sick to have someone that knew exactly how to get that sound, and he was into it too. So it was awesome.
As an artist and entertainer, how important is it to speak up on social issues, or are you just a straight entertainer?
I would say Tallah is a straight entertainer. We don't want to like, I don't know. We're kind of like I don't want to say the distraction for people, but like when people come and listen to us, it's kind of like they get to not think about all the serious things going on in the world. They can just kind of, listen to our music and relax for a second. But I guess our music doesn't make people relax. Maybe it helps them get out the anger about things that are going on in the world. But yeah, we try, like, our concept is just a story. It's a fictional story. It's the same as watching something on, TV, like a story, like a show, or reading a book, It's not driven by social or political issues. It's kind of its own thing.
Nice. And tell me something you've never told an interviewer before.
I think. What's something? I scooped my cat's litter box yesterday. I don't think I've ever told anyone that. That's one. what else? If there's like something about the music, I feel like I kind of nerd out over our album and kind of say everything. We just did like a play. What is it called? I'm forgetting the word. A listening party. We did a listening party on our YouTube channel the other day, where we went through the album step by step, and I literally talked about everything that's on the album, from like the little samples and stuff. So I haven't actually shouted it out yet, so that's something I can say on here. If you go to our YouTube channel, there's like a 2-hour, almost 3-hour listening party where we listened through the entire album and talked about recording it and everything that went into it, which is really cool.
Well, that's awesome. We will be heading over there for sure. Well, I think that pretty much takes up most of your time. I'd like to thank you for taking the time to talk to us. Do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share with our listening audience?
What am I gonna say?
We've
got any jokes? I'm not good at jokes. I'm just coming off the top of my head. But I will say, another shameless self-promotion, not really self-promotion, but if you follow our Tallah Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, we will put out some more videos, like music videos, at some point in the future, near future. So there's going to be more content coming out, and anyone that wants to see it, if you follow our pages, you'll be seeing the posts and the announcements.